So this push now on all these different levels for accountability, responsibility, putting the blame for what these filthy, rotten, traitorous dogs did, that presents the Republicans, the Christian fascists, with a very familiar to them dilemma. It is this: will they again shield this filthy orange vomit who is guilty of a previous string of assaults on democracy that are only now becoming clear? Are they going to continue to do that, the Christian fascists? Because in the months since the January 6th insurrection, these filthy Republican leaders in the House and the Senate have repeatedly said, well, it's time to move on. You're right. Yeah, time to move on. One word for you, you filthy, dirty bastards. Benghazi. How's that? Move on from that. You fuckers still want to call committee hearings about that, don't you? Oh, my God. Time to move on. And the Christian fascists in the Senate are blocking the establishment of an independent commission to investigate that attack on January 6th, as we're all aware. That was organized and initiated and launched by the Orange Vomit. But the issues raised by the secret subpoenas don't just require accountability. There's more here. Because the more of this shit that comes out, the more that we, the still able to think public, understands the kind of attacks on basic U.S. freedoms that could be repeated and this time utterly destroyed if the filthy orange vomit or anyone like him becomes president in 2024, or if he is not held perfectly accountable and throw the son of a bitch in prison. I'm telling you, that's the only way to do this. That's the only way to do it. If he's guilty, if he's found guilty. Now, for what Trump did, of course, I prefer a firing squad. No, I'm serious. And I'm not pro-death penalty. I really am not. But this is a case of trying to bring down and utterly destroy an entire country, its codes of conduct, even if we haven't lived by them, even as we try to elevate ourselves to live by them. It means bringing down an entire culture, some of which is rotten as shit and should be ameliorated, changed, removed. I realize the state of justice in this country sucks for people of color, but we need to work on it. We need to make it change. The last thing we need is to bring everything down, which is what these Christian fascists want to do, and replace our faltering system of democracy with full-blown fascism. Now, this country is already getting a taste of what the Christian fascists have in mind, their attempts, backed by the filthy pig bastard Donald Trump. And that is to make it harder for millions of Americans, mostly people of color, to cast ballots, and to make it easier for these Christian fascist officials and legislators to intervene in the certification process after an election, after a non-Christian fascist is declared the winner. The Christian fascists want to be able to step in, and they're passing laws to do this and declare that the election was null and void because the Christian fascist fuck didn't win. Wow. I hate to get into memes and cliches like, what did the president know and when did he know it? But these coming congressional investigations are probably going to try to figure out just that. With an added wrinkle, whether or not the Orange Vomit orchestrated all of this stuff. And you know he did, and so do I. We know without fully knowing because we had a front row seat to this son of a bitch for 4 years. We know what he's capable of, and we know what he does. So, in that light, House Intelligence Chair Adam Schiff and also on the Intelligence Committee, Representative Eric Swalwell, were swept up, of course, in these secret data operations. They were targeted. And the possibility remains that more of these sweeps against other people were attempted and are not yet made public. So there's no telling the degree. This is just like the Russia scandal, where Trump and his closest advisors, including the traitorous filth Michael Flynn, and so many people around Trump, actively collaborated with Russian military intelligence to destroy this country. And not all of this information, I would guess, has yet been made public. And I think when it is made public, if we, the people, are not so goddamn immunized against more shock, I thought I was. I thought after 4 years, there's nothing that could be revealed about this Orange Vomit that would cause me to go, oh my God, until it became clear what this son of a bitch did with his subpoenas, what he did with his Justice Department. I mean, it's just astonishing. Now, Merrick Garland, being, I don't know, kind of milquetoasty, he has not decided to order an investigation of these data sweeps, but he's handed it off to the Inspector General of the Justice Department. Okay, fair enough. Pelosi also said that she didn't know if other members of the House or the Senate, other than Schiff and Swalwell, were targets of the Orange Vomit's data capture. Pelosi asked in that interview, she said, quote, how could it be that there could be an investigation of members in the other branch of government and the press and the rest too, and the attorneys general didn't know? That's what these two scum are trying to say. So who are these people, Pelosi went on? Who are the people that ordered these subpoenas? And are they still in the Justice Department? End quote. Well, we can guess who ordered the subpoenas, right? Let's start with that filthy, subhuman Donald Trump Jr., or the Nazi Jew Stephen Miller, or the Trump bitch, what's her name? Jesus, Ivanka, or some of these other swine who carried with them the intimidation of the Orange Vomit. Jesus God. Or Kushner, Jared Kushner, who had the top security clearance that the government can give. That's where you begin to look, where the authority came from to issue subpoenas against members of Congress, against the press, for no reason other than to satisfy the Orange Vomit's insanity, his borderline personality disorders, his sickness, and those of his filthy offspring. So, if I may be so bold, I would suggest that when these committees are finally impaneled to take a look at what really happened here, that they begin with the closest inner circle of the orange vomit, his filthy offspring, and the people closest around him, like that goddamn Stephen Miller and the rest of these scum. That's, to me, where the investigation needs to start. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcasts. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com, and never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.